So, simultaneous equations. We're going to look at a technique that we already are familiar with, but we're going to give it a name and give it a really clear process. The reason I didn't teach us the process straight up is that I wanted us to understand what was going on inside what we're doing. So, to find where two functions meet, a key word for that is intersect. So to find the intersection point, we use a process called simultaneous equations. There are a couple of ways we can do this, but the most common way is called substitution. And that's the way that we've been dealing with it to this point in time. So the way that we've been dealing with it is called substitution. It's called substitution because we isolate a variable and then we substitute it in for the other one. So we start with two variables and we remove one by getting one variable by itself and then replacing it in the other equation. So I'll give us a process and an example to work with. Give me two equations. I'm going to go 2y minus 4x equals 10, and I'm going to go y equals 6x plus 3. Something like that. So I've got two equations there. What I need to do in step one is to isolate a variable. Do I need to isolate any one of those variables there, or have I already got one isolated? Which one's isolated? The second one. I now need to label my equations. What's a good way to label my equations? 1 and 2. And then I communicate below that, substituting. Which one am I substituting into the other one? I want to sub 2 into. And now any place that I see y in equation 1, I replace it with 6x plus 3. So I rewrite equation 1, but now instead of writing y, I write 6x plus 3. Are we happy with that? Now what do I need to do? What's the process? So I've done step 1, I've done step 2, I now to rearrange and solve. So I'm just going to collect some like terms and move things to the other side. So I've got 12x plus 6 minus 4x equals 10. I collect my like terms. I've got 8x plus 6 equals 10. I minus 6. 8x equals 4. Divide both sides by 8. X equals 1 on 2. Or, what's that? 0.5 if we are a fraction theory. Am I done yet? I've done this step, I've done this step, I've done this step. What about the last step? So I need to sub x equals 0.5 into which one? Does it matter? I would use 2 here. Why? It's easier. So that into 2. Y equals 6 times 0.5 plus 3. What's 6 times 0.5? 3 plus 3 is? Y equals 6. There's my intersection point. Are we good with that? Take a photo of that, follow that process, write that down, and then finish that line up as much as possible.